We begin with the statewide propositions on the ballot to change the Texas Constitution. Early voting begins tomorrow for the November 4th election, and there are 17 propositions in all. Many of them involve reducing property taxes. Among them, Proposition 13. If approved by voters, the homestead exemption will increase from $100,000 to $140,000 and take effect this year. This will impact 5.7 million Texas homeowners. Then there is Proposition 11, which will increase the homestead exemption for people over 65 and the disabled to $200,000. That will affect about 2 million seniors. Prop 9 will boost the tax exemption for businesses on their equipment and inventory from $2,500 to $125,000. Other constitutional amendments include property tax reductions for the surviving spouses of veterans, for owners whose homes are destroyed by fire, and for property owners whose land is used for border security infrastructure. We spoke with Republican State Senator Paul Bettencourt of Houston, who wrote a majority of the tax bills.
It has a 40% increase in the overall homestead exemption, which means it will save the average homeowner $484 a year. But wait, we're not done yet, because Prop 11 actually adds $60,000 more for over 65 and disabled homeowners for a $200,000 exemption, and that saves a whopping $907 per year for as long as they own their home as well. So these are big cuts.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, these are on top of the savings from before, right?
Right. These are all on top of the 2023's record property tax relief bill that cut property tax rates and for schools, and also increased the school exemption back then to $100,000. So we're doing even more now, and there's going to be some additional rate cuts as well that are all factored into the numbers that I gave you.
Now, you said before this is permanent, but undoubtedly, and this is only on the school property tax for homeowners, but undoubtedly you have people say, well, it feels like my property taxes are still going up. My property values are still going up. So what do you say to homeowners about that?
Well, the first thing I say is that the quickest way to a property tax cut is to vote for the propositions that raise your homestead exemptions, because they'll be with you the rest of your life. Whether you're under 65 or going over 65, it will just help you stay in your home. The whole concept of homestead exemptions has been championed by Lieutenant Governor Patrick, with many bills that we passed, about 8 of them, to help with housing affordability, because this is critical that we're trying to set the tone from the state for the school homestead exemptions, because really what has to happen is the cities and the counties have to follow along, and they have to make their own independent votes.
There are other propositions as far as veteran spouses, and also if people live along the border, and right, if their homes are destroyed by fire. Can you walk us through those?
Right. There's about 11 propositions that deal with taxes in one way or the other, 10 specifically for property taxes. But yes, if you're fire damaged, because it takes now a year to rebuild now, it will give you the same break that areas and cities and counties get if there's a disaster, which means you can get a level playing leveled out your value down, so you don't pay on something that's been totaled effectively, which many cases for fires are there. If you've got borderland that's being used for the border wall, you can get a break on that.
And let me ask you about the business property tax exemption, because this is on a business's inventory and equipment. This is also going to increase the exemption.
And this was a priority of Speaker Burrows. It took us 4 sessions to get the exemption up to $2,500, and now we're blasting it up to $125,000. So when you think about it, an average business can buy a truck and then have computers and equipment for roughly that type of money. It means that they won't pay property taxes on it. That's about a $2,500 advantage for the taxpayers, but also saves them time because they don't have to waste a lot of time on filing paperwork at that point.
Other proposed amendments to the Constitution will ban taxes on capital gains, inheritance, and securities. There's also a new water infrastructure fund that will provide $1 billion each year for the next 20 years to develop new water sources for Texas and fix leaky pipes and wastewater systems. And another ballot proposition would force state judges to deny bail in certain felony cases, including murder, indecency with a child, and aggravated assault. A variety of school districts in North Texas are holding what's called voter-approved tax rate elections, or VATER, which by law are considered property tax increases. These districts include Carroll, HEB, Garland, Denton, Northwest, Bland, Rockwall, Crandall, and Peaster ISDs. Other school districts are holding bond elections.